Hey everybody, I'm back with another update of what's happening here in southern Utah, and today I'm at the headquarters of Ram Company, which is an aerospace company here in town that creates parts for companies like SpaceX, Boeing, and really any other airplanes and jets that are in the air. They're doing really big things, work with really big companies, and they're located right here in southern Utah. Today I get to interview the CEO, the Director of Engineering, and the Director of Operations. And they get to tell us a little bit about what they do, who they are, and why they're here in southern Utah. So let's get started. So I'm here with Bruce, who is the Director of Operations here at Ram Company. That's going to tell us a little bit about who they are, the history, and so we'll let Bruce take it from here.
Great, thank you very much, McCrae. Ram Company is an aerospace company here located in St. George, Utah. Been around since 1975. Not many have heard about us very much, but it's a great little company that's been here for a long time. We employ about 200 wonderful employees, and we are manufacturers of solenoids and valves, the kind of products you see in front of you here. Basically what these things do, they provide motion to the industry. They affect the flow of fuel or hydraulics, things of this nature. So you'll find them on SpaceX Dragon capsules, aircraft, all kinds of devices. Very cool. Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys, I wanted to bring up, you guys get to work with companies like SpaceX and NASA. That type of, you're around that type of people. And it's really cool that here in southern Utah, we have that type of company. Yeah, that is a very cool thing. What is one of the cool things about working with companies like that? Probably seeing what the end item is, what it does. I think for our employees, they get to experience the fact that when they come into work every day, they're building something that's going to affect a lot of people. And the safety in a lot of systems. For example, you want the aircraft to land and people to walk away and everybody be happy, right? And our products make that happen. And so it's very particular work, very demanding work. It's got to be exact, got to be right. And these good people that work with us, they learn how to do it well every single day. The best of the best, right? I think so, yeah. Awesome. I would agree. And I know that you guys, one last question for you. You had an expansion of the building a couple years back. Talk us through that a little bit. It became necessary for us to expand. We were trying to be ahead of the need. We were quite full. All the machines were running too busy and didn't have any place to add anything. And so we decided to expand, added on about 71,000 square feet to what was then a 55,000 square foot facility. So we grew quite a bit, and that allowed us to arrange our operations more efficiently, more effectively. We call it flow, to improve the flow of the product well, and to give us some room for future growth. Of course, last year with some slowdowns in the economy, it feels like we didn't quite need it yet, but had we not done it, we perhaps would not have been prepared for some of the needs we have. Cool, very cool. Well, I like it. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Very welcome, thank you. So now we get to hear from Tom, who's the Director of Engineering, the head engineer here, and get to hear about what they do and what they create. So right here in front of us, we've got a few of their parts. And so go ahead and just give us an idea of what are the parts you guys make for SpaceX and these other companies, and what do we have here in front of us? Okay, yeah, definitely. Yeah, so like Bruce was saying, we support like SpaceX, Blue Origin, also Aerojet Rocketdyne, some of our space customers. So what they're coming to us for is, like say a thruster, if it would be on, like a cube satellite. If it's going to SpaceX, it would be like Dragon, Crew Dragon. And so when the Dragon docks to the Universal Space Station, it would be the thrusters around the Dragon that are controlling that for the docking. Also, we can control basically the refrigeration inside the capsule. We also have solenoid valves that control like the pressure inside the capsule itself. For example, the one with the manual override goes directly inside the capsule and can be accessed behind a bulk panel. And it has a manual override on that one just in case like an emergency comes up. Beyond space, we do a lot of commercial and military aerospace. So basically anything on a military airplane or a commercial airplane that moves would have a solenoid valve that actuates it. So flaps, aileron, landing gear, we even do oxygen deployment, like oxygen masks that'll drop down. Oh, cool. That's probably one of the products you never want to see in action that we manufacture, but we do make that one. So pretty much anything that flies in the air. Pretty much. Yeah, we do fuel control valves that'll like emergency shut off on the fuel.
And then we're also on a lot of the Rolls-Royce jet engines, that bigger manifold off to the right that goes on, it's like a hot bleed air system, and it's pneumatic, so it sees high temperatures. So a lot of our valves are exposed to, very high temperatures, up to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But also we do some cryogenics on the space where we're down, in the negative 200 degrees F applications. So
very cool. And we talked about this a little bit before, the detail of each part that's made. Tell us a little bit about how you can't even, it has to be exact, right?
Every very exact. So they'll give you, say, 20, 30 different requirements. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to time it exactly, like for, when they apply voltage, how fast it turns on, how fast it turns off, how much fluid it can flow. And then also what we'll look at is we'll look at what the environment is, like shock, vibration, and we'll try to size the internals or suspend the internals so it can handle the vibration levels, the G loading. And then we're also looking at, what are the thermal characteristics of the part, how hot, how cold, what thermal expansion that's going to take place. A lot of the materials are very unforgiving. They move a lot at different temperatures, so we have to account for that. And so we'll literally trim some of our parts within thousandths of an inch, to get that type of response time or actuation.
And that's why you need the best of the best, right?
We have some pretty good guys down there. We have some great people that work for us that
awesome.
Can put this together. It's there's a lot of finesse to it. There's a lot of lessons learned.
It's really impressive. I know nothing about this space.
We'd love to put you to work downstairs.
And I think it's so fascinating what you guys can create and the exactness that it has to be in order for you to be able to supply, these big jets and spaceships and whatnot. So super cool. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you much.
And last but not least, we get to hear from Gregg Robinson, who is the CEO of RAM, and get to hear about why they are here in southern Utah. So I know typically the aerospace world is in a lot of the big cities, Seattle, LA. You guys are headquartered here in southern Utah. So why is it that the company is here?
That's a great question, and you're correct. We are an anomaly here in southern Utah, and it's attributed to the fact that Ray and Melzi Ganowski, who own RAM, moved here back in the 70s because they loved the area, they loved the climate, and moved here despite both being from California and had worked back east. One of the customers that Ray had worked with back when he was an engineer contacted him directly and asked him to design a valve for them. It was the Kohler company out in Wisconsin. They designed it and started building out of the garage of their home here in St. George.
Wow, so it's a garage story.
It's a garage story.
Wow, that's so cool.
Garage of their house, and from that point moved into a small building just off of Boulevard in St. George, about a block north of Dixie State.
Oh, wow.
And since then moved out here into this facility, and as Bruce allotted to, recently added on with another 70,000 square foot expansion. We have, like he said, just over 200 employees and growing incredibly strong. So the aerospace end of it, Kohler's not in the aerospace, but one of our big customers is, and they're up in Salt Lake. They have a large location there in Ogden, actually.
Oh, cool.
The name is Parker Aerospace, and they approached the RAM company and started inquiring of RAM to build some of the products you see before you. And as RAM successfully supported Parker Aerospace, it grew from there into other divisions of Parker Aerospace, as well as other aerospace companies, and now, as you heard, into space applications as well. So it's been a phenomenal growth story.
Awesome, so cool. And what brought, I know you grew up here and moved away, recently came back to obviously join RAM. What do you love most about southern Utah?
You can't beat the outdoors here in southern Utah. Obviously, it's always nice to have it a little bit warmer, but the heat doesn't bother me here in the middle of summer. It's a place where I absolutely love being. As you mentioned, I grew up here, went away to college, went up to the University of Utah, put a plug in for the U here shortly, and lived in California and back east for the majority of my career in manufacturing and in aerospace, and just returned a year ago to join RAM and support the growth of this organization. And it's honestly, it's a pleasure to be back. It's truly a a blessing for me to be here, part of this team, and to work with such an incredible group of people, not just Bruce and Tom, but the people on the factory floor, the engineers that we have here are phenomenal, very talented. The majority of the engineers that we have here are not from the local area. They're from other parts of the state of Utah as well as outside of the state of Utah. And what brings them here is really not just the technology and the complexity of the products we make, but also the environment, the outdoors, the activities, and now we're supporting Dixie State heavily in their engineering area so that we can try and develop some local talent here as well.
That's what I love. I was at the State of the President address like 5-6 months ago when they started talking about the Polytechnic and all the engineering that's going to go on there. So I think this intergalactic and the engineering opportunities that we have here, if we can have kids grow up here and stay here, it's awesome.
That's the goal.
So very cool. Well, thanks for having us. I appreciate it. Appreciate the time and allowing us to come in here and see what you guys are all about.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap, guys. As you can see, a lot of cool stuff going on here at Ram Company right here in our backyard. For more info on what's happening in southern Utah, shoot me a text, give me a call, 435-668-7293, or follow me on Facebook or Instagram. Thanks, guys.